The sky hung low, clouds swollen and gray, as if the heavens themselves were grieving. Cold wind threaded through the small village of Ellensworth, rustling leaves and pulling at coat hems. It was the kind of day that made you feel the loss deep in your bones. The little church on the hill, usually a beacon of comfort, now felt hollow, its stained glass windows casting fractured light over rows of tear-streaked faces. Farmers with calloused hands and dirt still under their nails sat shoulder to shoulder with quiet old women clutching rosaries, whispering prayers through trembling lips. Children squirmed in stiff black clothes they didn't understand the reason for. Grief was heavy in the air, dense and suffocating. At the front, draped in white linen, lay a closed casket of polished oak. No one had seen Hannah's body. Father Michael stood tall behind the pulpit, his voice calm but distant. "A peaceful passing," he said gently, hands folded over a worn Bible. "She left us in her sleep." The family, given the sensitive nature of her condition, chose a closed casket. A quiet murmur rippled through the congregation. People nodded solemnly. They remembered how tired Hannah had looked in recent weeks, how her smile had faded, her laughter grown brittle. She'd begun shrinking from light, from people. It had all seemed so sudden. At the base of the casket lay Duke, her faithful golden retriever. Usually a ball of sunshine, the dog hadn't touched food or water since Hannah was taken away. He lay still, head resting on his paws, eyes dull with loss. As mourners passed by, they gave him quiet pats, their hearts aching a little more at the sight. But then, midway through the final hymn, Duke stirred. He lifted his head. A low growl rolled from his throat, deep, raw, warning. The organ wavered. The choir faltered. Every eye turned toward the dog. Ruff! Ruff, ruff. He barked once, sharp. Urgent. He circled the casket with purpose, nails clicking against the stone floor, nose twitching. Then he jumped, paws thudding against the wood, scratching, whining. Gasps broke through the silence. "Poor dear," Mrs. Henderson whispered, pressing a hand to her chest. "He doesn't understand she's gone." But 12-year-old Tommy Rigby shook his head. "No. That's his danger bark. That's the same bark he did when the Johnson's bull got loose. That's not grief." Father Michael's calm facade cracked. He stepped forward too quickly, his voice rising. "Please, remove the animal at once." But no one moved. Duke had stopped barking. He was whimpering now. Clawing with desperation. A soft knock echoed from inside the casket. The entire church inhaled in one stunned breath. David Mercer shoved through the frozen crowd. He wasn't from the village, just a quiet man renting the old Miller place for writing. But everyone remembered Hannah talking to him on her porch. They'd laughed over books, shared coffee, let Duke snooze at their feet. Now, David was on his knees beside the frantic dog. "Duke," he whispered, gripping his collar. "What is it, boy?" Duke pulled free, resumed scratching, and this time, the knock came again. Louder. Faster. Old man Peterson stepped in front of the priest, lifting his cane with trembling authority. "Let the boy open it." Hands shaking, David lifted the lid. Hannah gasped. She sat up like a woman pulled from a nightmare, eyes wild, gagged, wrists bound in altar cloth. Her skin was pale, damp with sweat. The entire church exploded in screams and chaos. The priest's niece collapsed in the choir loft with a soft thud. Father Michael turned to run, but Duke sprang. 70 pounds of righteous fury knocked him flat. They crashed into the baptismal font, holy water spilling like judgment itself. Duke growled low and unrelenting, his teeth locked on the priest's robe. David tore the gag from Hannah's mouth. "He drugged me," she rasped. "He said it was medicine." The sheriff burst through the doors moments later to find Father Michael pinned, soaked, and snarling. In the pocket of his robe, a vial of pentobarbital, lethal, unmistakable. The truth spilled out like dirty water. Hannah, as the church bookkeeper, had uncovered financial corruption, donations rerouted to secret accounts. When she confronted Father Michael, he panicked. The illness had been poison. The funeral? A cover-up. He almost got away with it, Hannah would tell reporters later, one hand buried in Duke's fur, her voice steady. But he didn't count on Duke. The trial lasted 6 days. The sentencing took 6 minutes. 25 years in a cold cell. And some say, even now, on quiet prison nights, Father Michael hears a distant growl echoing through the concrete halls, reminding him of the justice that came wrapped in fur.
One quiet morning on the island of Cumbre in Chile, a fisherman made a discovery that would soon echo around the world. That man was Mr. Lucas Mendoza, 47 years old, a kind-hearted and observant fisherman who often worked along the untouched southern coast of the island. As he walked near the rocky shore searching for fish, something caught his eye. It was massive and strange. A huge, rusty iron chain stretched from the sand all the way into the deep sea, disappearing beneath the waves. The links were enormous, each over 20 centimeters thick, covered in green seaweed and fuzzy moss. Some of it was buried under sand and stones, as if hiding there for years. Stunned and a little shaken, Lucas took out his phone and snapped pictures. He knew this wasn't something ordinary. Without wasting time, he contacted the Coast Guard in the nearest port city. Within hours, a special investigation team arrived, working closely with maritime archaeologists. They were excited, but also cautious. Divers went underwater to follow the mysterious chain. What they found surprised everyone. The chain hadn't moved at all, even though the tides were strong. That meant something huge was anchoring it in place. At about 24 meters deep, they found it. A gigantic anchor still attached to the broken hull of a ship. And not just any ship. Behind the anchor lay a sunken warship. Its body was damaged, torn by time and the sea, but its structure still stood strong and proud beneath the waves. Inside the wreck, the divers found a shocking sight. Dozens of massive artillery shells, still perfectly intact. As they explored further, they discovered old sea mines, grenades, and explosives, all still alive, as if frozen in time. The area was immediately closed off. One wrong move, and a powerful explosion could erupt. It was too dangerous to take lightly. Soon, the Chilean military's elite bomb squad was flown in. The situation was tense. Everyone worked with extreme care. After hours of examining the wreck, historians finally confirmed what they had found. The ship was the CRS Atalaya, a warship that had vanished without a trace back in 1945. Experts believe it went down during a sea battle in the South Pacific and lost contact during a massive storm. For over 75 years, its fate had remained a mystery. Until now. What amazed the experts most was how the ship remained untouched, with all its weapons still on board. How could it have stayed hidden so long? Lucas Mendoza, the humble fisherman, was praised as a national hero. Chile's Marine Conservation Agency thanked him for his quick thinking and sharp eye. The dangerous weapons were carefully removed and transported to a high-security military base to be safely destroyed. News spread fast. Museums and historical research centers around the world requested access to the ship's data for study and preservation. Local leaders declared the wreck site a protected area for maritime archaeology, ensuring it would be safe from damage or interference. The people of Isla Cumbre were in shock. For decades, such a massive secret had been lying just beneath the surface, right near their homes, and no one had known. To celebrate this once-in-a-lifetime discovery, the town began building a small museum to share the story with future generations. Lucas Mendoza still can't believe it. "It started out as a normal day," he said, "and ended with something I never could have imagined." Experts are still investigating what the Atalaya was carrying and why it was hidden so well. Some believe it may have been on a secret mission, transporting classified wartime weapons. The mystery of why the warship sank near Isla Cumbre remains unsolved. But one thing is certain. This discovery has become one of the most important maritime archaeological finds in decades. Dear friend, thank you for reading this incredible story. Don't forget to like and subscribe to support us.